Plenty Valley FM presents Sig's Flicks.
And the big man of flicks is starting to rumble out of bed, so we'll have to get him online and have a little bit of a chat with him about getting miffed. So good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, good morning, Bill. Yes, indeed. Miffed is the word, indeed. It's right into it. We just started the Melbourne International Film Festival, which is in full swing now, and that's the big granddaddy film festival of the year. So we're all looking forward to this going right through from now until the 20th of August in the cinemas, and then just before that, from the 18th right through to the 27th, it's online. So you can look at them, look at these films at various Melbourne metro locations. For example, we have the ACME, Australian Centre for Moving Image, in Fed Square. We've also got many films screening at the Forum, very near there, and around the corner on Swanson Street in the Capitol Cinema, Grand Old Cinema, that one, and so just recently renovated in the last few years, and looks really good with the lighting and the ceiling there. So get into a screening there if you can.
Yeah, the ceiling's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, stunning! Yeah, they've got it changing colors and everything, and it's quite the experience as well as the film. We've also got screenings at the Kino up Collins Street and the Hoyts Melbourne Central around Swanson Street. The Comedy Theatre is not real popular because waited outside in line, and there's not a lot of covering there, and the seats are still trying to get them changed. So be careful about seeing some screenings in there. And we've also got some outer films at the IMAX, the big IMAX over in Carlton, and the Astor Theatre down in St. Kilda. So there's a lot of screenings around. You can check this all out a little bit more than what I can talk to you now at the website, miff.com.au, standing, of course, for Melbourne International Film Festival. So there's quite a few things for you guys to see. What are the sections? Oh, it's incredible. We've got the Bright Horizons competition, which is a pretty valuable competition, also with a substantial prize to that one. That's new and emerging filmmakers in the first or second film. So that's a good section there. We've also got, of course, the main section, the headliners from around the world, various films screening there, including a section, of course, on Australian film, but we got films from the Asia Pacific. We got another special section for Africa and Middle Eastern films. We've got another section from Europe and the UK, North America, Latin America. They're all over. We've got a restoration section, which is look at various films that have been restored from times past, and they look really good nowadays. So we can see some films from earlier days. And we've got the very much anticipated documentary section. So there's a range of documentaries there. One of my favorites, I'll be talking about a little while. We have a music on film, from music, various music people. Some really good stuff. One of my favorite sections also is the night shift sections, weird, wonderful, crazy, and zombies and violence and off-the-wall films called the night shift sections. We've got a retrospective on Dario Argento, director, so a lot of his films will be coming back in.
Is that the Senegalese director?
Excuse me?
Is that the Senegalese director?
No. The Italian one. He's got stuff coming in from some of his films, and it looks real good from what he's done from many of his things. But you may remember Suspiria, Phantom of the Opera, some of those, and Tenebrae. It looks like some really good stuff. So, yeah, the many of the other areas. We got experimental films and experimentations, and we've got, of course, animated section, which is very much anticipated, and of course, the another high award and internationally rated international short film competitions. We got international short films, Australian short films, animated short films, and quite a range of stuff there. So, yeah, it's quite a bit we can look into.
Beautiful.
Now,
We'll have a quick break and we'll come back and talk about some of the films.
sounds good.
Okay, on the other side of this, we'll be back with Sig.
If you're an adult who has difficulties with reading, writing or spelling, the Reading Writing Hotline has some very good news. It can actually be easier to take the plunge and improve your reading and writing skills than to keep putting it off. Phone the Reading Writing Hotline and find out how. Their number is 1300 655 That's the Reading Writing Hotline, and they're there to help.
1300 655
Go on, take the plunge.
88.6 Plenty Valley FM. Great music, great wine, great food, and much more. Valley Lifestyles, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
And it's Bill McGillivray with Valley Lifestyles and Sig Anderson giving you that much more on the films.
Yes, indeed. And once again, we got a music section coming up with many films from various music areas, which you definitely want to look at. And I think some of the ones there, one of the ones in particular that I think is quite good is Michael Gudinski, and some of the stuff that he's got on the film about his music and the stuff he's done. For example, we have this film. I think it'd be good because if you don't see it at the festival, you can see it later on. It will be released, so you can check it out, and probably streaming it on television later on after that. But this is quite a good story. It's called Ego, the Michael Gudinski story, and an incredible story of this Australian music promoter. And sorry, I'm supposed to say, 50 years had been doing it, so he's pretty good. That's virtually a natural-born hustler. And he started Mushroom Records when he was 19 years old. Incredible. So he really helped develop Australian acts like, as we all know, Skyhooks, the Split Ends, Jimmy Barnes, Paul Kelly, Hunters and Collectors, Kylie, Archie Roach, Yotha Yindi. Incredible. And he also was instrumental in bringing out international acts such as Foo Fighters. Ed Sheeran says a lot of good things to say about him. Many of these people are interviewed and talk about Michael and their relationship and history with him throughout Australian touring and things like this. Springsteen, Sting, many of these people.
Joan Baez, Little Richard.
Yeah, yeah. There's several there. Little Richard, yes. It sounds very good, and I'm looking forward to the Joan Baez feature as well. We have several people we're looking at. Indigo Girls as a music special, and birthday party, several. So, yeah, that's one to check out.
They've got a quite array of different genres in the movie world.
Oh, yeah, totally. As I say, we have several through there, and then the showcases as well. And we've got, as I say, some of the 96 sections, some of the dramas, documentaries, comedies, all kinds of incredible things. But one of the ones we just saw recently was from the Bright Horizons section, new and emergent films, Sweet East. And that is an interesting film. We got young Lillian. She is on a school trip to Washington, D.C., and she gets separated from her friends and goes on a bit of a road trip around the East Coast of the U.S. and sort of meeting weird and wonderful people. And this one, it left me a little bit. It was a bit bouncy, and some of the cinematography is a bit more like a music video. And it's actually made by his first film from cinematographer Sean Price Williams. And we have the film critic who wrote this one, Nick Pinkerton, who was actually in there speaking a bit about it. So he said some interesting things. So she goes around and meets different people, crazy, well, not so crazy, just different people around. Like, gets a little bit of time with a professor that shows an interest in her, and we've got some vampiric filmmakers which want to really involve her with things what they're doing, because they like the looks of her. Supremacies, rich kids, anarchists, all kinds of things going around. So it's pretty amazing the way they go there.
Yeah, you like all those black ones, don't you? Black humour, black.
Yeah, they can be good.
Or dark. Sorry, dark.
Yeah. The night shift section, as I said, had several, and some of the films I've been able to see. One amazing film, Late Night with the Devil, and this is a really a different one. It's really based around a 70s talk show host who's pretty popular. His goal is to knock off Johnny Carson back in the 70s, and he sees how much he is able to do this, and how he tries to get there, and his fortunes fall a bit, and he drops a bit when he's not quite there, and then his wife dies, unfortunately, which is very sad, and he goes through a dark period. And when he wants to come back, he's still trying to knock off Johnny Carson to become the best late-night talk show of all. And he gets a special Halloween program broadcast featuring guests at Clairvoyant, parapsychologist, and the lone survivor of the satanic cult. And these get together, and there's definite supernatural forces involved a little bit more than they had planned on, and things go a bit crazy from there. But it's just really well put together in the way things go with this the host trying to hold things together and keep things happening and move it along, and they go with these things there. One of the interesting things about this is they show. When they cut to commercials, they show some of the background work and some of the planning and organization things before they go to air again, and they show how they're going to deal with some of that things and how we're going to work through. So interesting photography, nice special effects, and good 70s sets and crazy clothes, as you can imagine.
Great.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit of pavement pounding happening over the next month?
Oh, yeah. Just one more before we go.
Yeah.
In the night shift section, we had Birth and Rebirth, and this was an interesting film, a real retake on Frankenstein. We've got a very obsessed, determined nurse who wants to reanimate people. She's been trying to get things back from the dead, and a mother who's lost her 6-year-old child, and they get together and try and do their best to keep this little girl alive through some various things and various serum injections. Especially retake on the Frankenstein thing. The skull. They try to keep her alive and go through this. It's the obsession of this nurse to try and do this thing she's been researching for years, and the mother who's really mourning her daughter, and they get together and form an unexpected alliance. So that goes crazy. Once again, that's called Birth, Rebirth. Interesting film. Lots of stuff at MIF. I'll be going over Melbourne International Film Festival films over the next few weeks as I get to a few more, Bill, and keep you guys posted.
Thank you very much, Sig.